So we've gone over triangles, how to find the area of triangles, as well as various quadrilaterals. Now we're going to go over one of the most complicated concepts, which is a circle. So first we're going to start with the circumference of a circle, and then we're going to transition to the area of a circle. Now keep in mind, with all of these, it's just very, very important that you understand the formula, and that you write the formula, and that you're plugging in the numbers according to the formula. The formula is very, very important. Like I said, you'll be given a formula sheet on the test as well as during class. Just make sure to pick it up on your way to your seat. So, the circumference. What the circumference is basically the length around the circle, the distance around the circle, I should say. And in order to figure out the distance of a circle, we use the formula circumference is equal to pi r squared. It is equal to pi multiplied by the diameter. Now, keep in mind, the diameter is the length from one side of the circle to the other. The diameter is always going to be twice the radius. So in this case, if the diameter is 9, then that means our radius here is going to be half of that. So our radius is going to be equal to 4.5 in this situation. Over here, we don't really have to find the radius, but we can find the diameter here. So the diameter is going to be 21 times 2, because that's twice the radius, and 21 multiplied by 2 is going to give us a value of 42 feet. Okay? So just relating diameter to radius, because in area you're going to have to mainly use the radius. So find the circumference of a circle to the nearest hundredth. Use 3.14 for pi. So once again, I'm going to write my formula. Area. Circumference is equal to pi multiplied by the diameter. So circumference is equal to 3.14 multiplied by our diameter, in this case is 9. Okay, so now all I gotta do is take 3.14, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and multiply that by 9, and I'll get a value of 28.26 inches. Okay, now keep in mind that is not the area, so I do not have to put inches squared. Okay, all this is the distance around the circle. Now, if I don't want to use 3.14, I could always use the ratio for pi. Pi is equal to 3.14, but it's also equal to 22 over 7. So if I see that I have a number divisible by 7, then it might make more sense to use the fraction ratio as opposed to the decimal. So I'll show you this. Circumference is equal to pi multiplied by the diameter. So circumference is equal to 22 over 7. And we're going to multiply that by our diameter, which is twice the radius. So that's going to be 42. So it's going to be 42 over 1. Now, as you can see, I could cancel this out. 7 goes into 7 one time. 7 goes into 42 6 times. So now we just have to do 22 multiplied by 6, which is going to give us a value of 132 feet. All right, so in this case, our circumference, the distance around the entire circle, is going to be equal to 132 feet. Okay? And that's it for circumference. The main thing is just figure out what the diameter is and either multiply it by 3.14, or if it's a number that's divisible by 7, multiply it by 22 over 7, which is just the ratio for pi. Now, let's move on to area. For area is basically the same concept. You write down the formula and then you plug in. The only thing different here is that instead of it being pi times diameter, it's actually pi times the radius squared. Okay, so find the area of each circle, round to the nearest tenth if necessary, use 3.14 for pi. So once again, writing down the formula, area is equal to pi r squared. So area is equal to 3.14, and that's going to be multiplied by our radius squared. Our radius in this case is not 20. This is giving us the diameter, not the radius. So I'm going to go ahead and half this, or cutting in half is going to be 12 yards. All right? Not 12, 10 yards. So now I'm going to multiply this by 10 squared. So now area is equal to 3.14 multiplied by 100. Okay, 10 times 10 is 100. And then for here, 3.14 multiplied by 100 is going to give us a value of 314 yards. All right? So area is 314 yards squared. All right, let's try it for this. Area is equal to pi r squared. So I'm just going to go ahead and notice that it's giving me the radius, not the diameter. So area is equal to 3.14 multiplied by r squared, which is going to be 12 squared. So now it's just 3.14 is being multiplied by 144. Okay, 12 times 12 is 144. Now 3.14 multiplied by 144 is going to give us a value of 452.16, and that's millimeters squared. Okay? And that's basically it, y'all. It's just plugging in and then identifying what is the radius and what is the diameter. Now let's go ahead and try one more example. So this is about semicircles and quarter circles. The only thing you have to remember here is just calculate the area as you regularly would, but at the very end either divide it by 2 if it's for a semicircle, or divide it by 4 if it's a quarter circle. Now if it says a 3/4 circle, all you could do is you could do the half circle plus one of the quarter circles, or whatever combination you like. Okay, so just be aware that you just need to calculate the area first, and then you could go ahead and either divide by 2 or divide by 4, but you need to calculate the area first. You can't do that before. Okay, so a circular pool has a radius of 10 feet. What is the area of half of the pool? What is the area of a quarter of the pool? Okay, so we have a pool here. It's in the shape of a circle. We know it has a radius of 10 feet. Okay? Now, area is equal to pi r squared. So I know the area is going to be equal to 3.14 multiplied by 10 squared. So my area is equal to 3.14 multiplied by 100. So my area is equal to 314 feet. Okay? That is the area of the entire circle. Now, to figure out the semi, all I got to do is take 314 and divide by 2. Okay? So I'm going to just go ahead and do that. 314 divided by 2 is going to give us a value of 157 feet squared. All right? So half of that pool would be 157 feet squared for its area. Now a quarter. Just do the same thing, 314 multiplied by 4 in this situation, and we're going to get a value of 78.5 feet squared for a quarter circle. Okay? And that's basically it. Tomorrow we're going to focus on this a lot more in class, and then the day after we're going to focus on how to solve algebraically when we're given the area but we're missing something like the radius. Okay? That's it.